Hello, everyone. Here is a puzzle I just finished. I found a skyscraper, X-wing, and even a W-wing. Oh, and an empty rectangle. This puzzle has it all. So let's have a look. All right, here it is. Let's start by filling in the easy parts. And I'll just go in order. Let's start with the number 1. There are a bunch of ones down here. So using Snyder notation, I'm going to pencil in ones here in block 8, here, and here. And also, because of these ones, I can place a 1 in block 4 right here. Snyder notation is when you only pencil in candidates in a block if they are restricted to just 2 cells, then I pencil them in. If the candidates can be in more than 2 cells in a block, then for now, I don't pencil them in according to Snyder notation, which is quite helpful in the beginning stages of solving a puzzle, but it won't get you to the end of a hard level puzzle. Okay, onward. And now that means that this has to be a 1, and this has to be a 1. And I can pencil in ones in block 2 here and here. Okay, that takes care of all the ones. Now let's look at the number 2. We have a 2 here, here, and here. So I can pencil in 2s in block 2 here and here. And in block 6, because of these 2s, I can pencil in 2s here and here. As long as I stay with the Snyder notation, there's nothing more I can do with the number 2. So let's move on to the number 3. I don't see any 3s. There are no 3s in this puzzle. Okay, so let's look for the number 4. Okay, there's a number 4 here. And block 5 is pretty much filled, so this has to be the 4. And here in block 8, I can pencil in 4s here and here. And in block 6, because of these 4s, the 4 has to go here. And now, because block 5 has only 1 cell left, it has to be a 3. And is there anything else I can do with the number 4? Yes, here in block 2, I can pencil in 4s here and here. Remember, I'm sticking to Snyder notation for now. Okay, what about the number 5? We have a 5 here and a 5 here. So this has to be a 5. Okay, let's move on to the number 6. We have a 6 here and a 6 here. So in block 4, this has to be the 6. And then here in block 7, this has to be a 6. Anything else? Yes, here in block 9, because of these 2 6s, I can pencil in 6s here and here. Okay, what about the number 7? There's a 7 here and a 7 here. And because of all of these 7s, I can place a 7 in block 4 here. And now I can pencil in 7s here and here. And here in block 8, I can pencil in 7s here and here. Okay, moving on to the number 8, I can pencil in an 8 in block 4. And in block 7, because of these 2 8s, I can place an 8 here. And because of all of the 8s that I just placed, I can now place another 8 in block 8 here. And now that lets me place an 8 in block 3. Oh, and also in block 1. And now we have all of the 8s placed. Great. Now for the number 9. There are a bunch of 9s in the right stack, so I can place a 9 here. Also, row 4 had only 1 cell left, so it has to be a 9. Okay, so far we are placing lots of numbers, but this is rated as a hard puzzle, so I know we're going to get stuck pretty soon. Is there anything else I can do with the number 9? Okay, one of these has to be a 9, so let's pencil that in. And I can pencil in 9s down here. And since those candidates are locked into the bottom row, and there's a 9 in the 8th row, so I can pencil in 9s here and here. And let's see. Oh, wait, in column 1, this has to be a 9, right? This is a hidden single since the 9 can only go in this cell in column 1, right? It can't go here because there's already a 9 in the row. And here also there's a 9 in the row. So this is the only place a 9 can go in column 1. So let's put that in. Okay, I think that's all we can do easily for now, running through the numbers 1 through 9. So now for more low-hanging fruit, let's look at all the units that have just 2 cells missing and fill those in. So, for example, these 2 cells are the only cells left in block 4, and also the only 2 cells left in the row. So we can see what's missing. And 1, 2, 3, the 3 is missing. So these 2 cells are either a 9 or a 3. So let's pencil that in. Okay, and now I have the same scenario in block 6. There are just 2 cells remaining and also in the row. So what's missing? 1, 2, 3, again the 3. So let's pencil that in. And now we have just 2 cells left in column 9. So what's missing? It's the 3 and the 6. So now I'm going to stop using Snyder notation and switch to cell notation. And when I do that, I put the notation in the center of a cell. That way I know it's for the cell. So this cell can only be a 3 or a 6. Whether it's the row, column, or block, it doesn't matter. It's for that cell. And this cell can only be a 3 or a 6. So let's go ahead and fill in the remaining cells in this block. There's a 5 missing, so this cell can be a 3, 5, or a 6, right? And this can't be a 6, so it's either a 3 or a 5. So now we have locked 6s in the top row, and they have to be in one of those 2 cells. So let's go ahead and fill in the remaining cells. These 2 cells can be a 7, and they can all be a 3. And we're missing a 5 in the top row, so this can be a 5. Not here, and yes, here. Okay, what else is missing in the top row? 6, we have those locked in already. 7, we did. 8, we have. 9, so this can be a 9, and this can be a 9. Okay, not sure where that got me, but let's take a look at column 1. There's only 2 remaining cells in column 1, and what's missing? Let's see, the 3 is missing, and the 5. So this can be a 3, and this can be a 3, and 5. Okay, so we have a 3-5 pair in column 1. And column 2 also has just 2 cells remaining. We have a 3-9 here, and so this is also a 3-9. All right, let's get rid of the Snyder notation here and fill in this cell since it's the last cell left in block 1. So what can it be? It can be a 3, a 5, a 7, and a 9. So this cell can be a 3, 5, 7, or a 9. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to go around the grid and fill in all the candidates for each cell. So let me go ahead and do that, and that way I'll be able to spot patterns more easily. Okay, so now all the candidates are filled in, and I can see these 6s here in block 3 are locked in the top row. So there can't be any more 6s in the row, and that doesn't help, I don't think. Let's see, there's a locked pair here in row 7. These 2 5s are locked in this row. So since one of these cells has to be a 5, and there can't be any more 5s in that block, I can eliminate this 5, and this 5, and this 5. And now I have a naked single here, the 2. And so now I can eliminate all the other 2s in the block, and in the row, and in the column. And now it looks like there's only 1 2 in this row. That's called a hidden single. So this cell has to be a 2. And there's another hidden single in the row. Do you see it? It's the 6. This is the only possible cell for a 6 in row 2, so this has to be a 6. And that means I can eliminate this 6. Okay, now let's see. We have a 1 here, and a 1 here. Oh, and a 4 here, and a 4 here. So we have a 1 4 pair in column 5. It's a hidden pair. But it means that one of these cells has to be a 1 and the other one has to be a 4. There are no other 1s in the column. So I can get rid of this 3 and this 3. And now you can see the 1 4 matching pair more easily. Now I see there's a 2 3 5 here and a 2 3 5 here in block 9. And over here in the same row, we have a 3 5. So we have a naked triple, a 2 3 5. That's 3 numbers in 3 cells in the same row. Or it could be in the same block or the same column, but here it's in the same row. So no other cell in the row can be a 2, a 3, or a 5. And so I can eliminate this 3 here. Okay, now let's see what we have here in column 1. We have a 3 5 pair. There's also a 3 5 here in column 8, and a 2 3 5 here, also in column 8. So, okay, let me go ahead and highlight those cells. And what we have here is a skyscraper pattern. So let's focus on the 5 in column 8. One of these cells is a 5, right? Since there are no other 5s in the column. And here in column 1, one of these cells has to be a 5, since again, there are no other 5s in the column. And here, what we call the base of the skyscraper, we can say that if this green cell in column 1 is a 5, then this pink cell in the same row can't be a 5. So then this cell here, again, in green, has to be the 5, since column 8 has to have a 5, right? So either these 2 cells are a 5, or the other way around, these 2 cells are the 5s, and the green cells are the 3s. So we have a classic skyscraper pattern here. So now either these 2 green cells are both 5s, or these 2 pink cells are both 5s. One of those scenarios is true, but we don't know which one. That means that looking at the roof of the skyscraper, one of these cells, either the pink or the green, but one of them has to be a 5, and we don't know which one, but one of them has to be a 5. So now we can eliminate the 5 from any cells that see both of those cells, since they can't also be a 5. And let's see, this cell sees both cells. It's in the same block as this one and the same row as this one. So we can eliminate the 5 from this cell. Now let's have a look around some more. And if I look at block 2, I see the 3 is in the top row and in the 6th column. So we have the 3 restricted to 1 row and 1 column in a block. So we have the 3 restricted to 1 row and 1 column in the same block. And now we can look for a pair of 3s. Yes, here in column 9, we have a pair of 3s. So let me go ahead and highlight those. Okay, and let me go back to the threes in the row and column in block 2, and let's make those cells purple. So now we have what's called an empty rectangle pattern here. Now, if there's another 3 in the same row or column as the empty rectangle, then we can eliminate that 3 as long as it also sees one of the 3's in column 9 that I highlighted in green. And I have a video tutorial on the empty rectangle. If you want more detail, I explain the logic there. So check that out if you're not familiar with the empty rectangle pattern, but I'll explain the logic again here. So here, this 3 is in the same column as these purple 3's from the empty rectangle, and it's also in the same row as this green 3, so it sees this 3, so we can eliminate this 3. Why? Well, let's first take a look at these 2 green 3's. Since they are the only 3's in column 9, we know that one of them has to be a 3. So let's say this is the 3, then that means that these cells in the top row cannot be 3's, and then this has to be the 3 in block 2, which means that this cell cannot be a 3. So this cell can't be a 3 if this cell is a 3. And let's see if the other cell is a 3. Remember, one of these green cells has to be a 3. So if it's not the first one, then if it's this one that's the 3, then again, this cell can't be a 3 since it's in the same row, and therefore it can be eliminated. So either way around, if this cell is a 3 or if this cell is a 3, either way, this cell cannot be a 3, so we can get rid of the 3 here. And that leaves us with a naked single, the 5. And now if that's a 5, then I can get rid of this 5. And this cell has to be a 9. So let's get rid of this 5 and this 5. And now let's go ahead and put that 9 in. And if that's a 9, then this can't be a 9. And this can't be a 9. Okay, so now in the bottom row, we have 2 5's. And in the top row, the same columns, we also have just 2 5's. So we have a classic X-wing pattern. And let me highlight those cells in green. So you can see in the top row, there are 2 5's. And in the bottom row, there are 2 5's. And they're in the same column. So one of the diagonals is true, has to be a 5. And it could be either of those 2 cells. They are both 5's. Or these 2 cells are both 5's. Let me make those pink. Okay, so if this green cell is a 5, then this pink cell cannot be a 5. And then this green is a 5. And then this pink is not a 5. Or the other way around. But either the 2 green cells are 5's or the 2 pink cells are 5's. So that means there can't be any other 5's in this column. And there can't be any other 5's in this column, which means I can get rid of this 5. So now we have a matching 2-3 pair in column 7. That means there can't be any other 2's or 3's in the same column. So we can eliminate this 3, and we can get rid of this 3. And so now we have a 5 pair and a 2-3 pair in column 7. Great. Okay, now I have a 5-6 here, but more importantly, there's only one other 5 in this row. Here we go. There are just 2 5's in the top row, so one of those has to be true. And then for this 5, there's only one 5 in the same block, block 3. And also for this 5, there's only one 5 in the same block, block 1. So I think we have another pattern here. These 2 cells are bi-value cells with the same candidates, 3's and 5's. So let me go ahead and highlight this. Okay, so the purple cells are in the top row, and they have the only 2 5's in that row. And then we have these 2 bi-value cells. I colored them green with a 3-5 pair. Okay, so here we have what is called a W wing. There's a strong link between the two fives in the top row, right? Because those are the only two fives in that row. And there's also a strong link between the fives in the top row and each of the fives in its block. So if this cell is a 5, then this cell can't be a 5, so it's a 3. But if this is a 5, then this can't be a 5, so it's a 3. So either way, whichever of the purple cells is the 5, one of the green by value cells has to be a 3. So we can eliminate any cell with a 3 that sees both of the green cells. So we have two cells here that see both green cells, and so we can eliminate the 3s from both of these cells. And so that means that this is a 9, and then this is a 7, which makes this a 5, and this is a 3, and then this is a 6, and this is a 5, and let's get rid of this 5. And it can't be a 7, and since we have a 3-9 pair, this can't be a 3, so it's a 7, and that makes this a 1, 4, 7, and this is a 1, 3, 5, 3, 2, a 3 up here, and then this is a 9, and this is a 5. Oh, 1 second, I missed this. This can't be a 3 since there's already a 3 in the column. So this is a 2, and if that's a 2, then this is a 3, and this has to be a 5, and now the whole puzzle will unravel. So now this is a 6, and this is a 3, and this can't be a 2 anymore, so it's a 3. Okay, let's see, we have a 6 here, so this has to be a 3, and then this is a 5, and this is already has a 3 in the column, so this has to be a 9, and then this has to be a 3, and then this has to be a 6, and the puzzle is done. Wow, we really had some nice strategies in this puzzle. Without them, it would have been hard to solve. The skyscraper, the X-wings, they were pretty easy to spot. The W-wing and the empty rectangle are a little harder to see, but if you fill in all the candidates and look around for them, you will find them. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something.